Sup, it's Hallie. Welcome back to Branching Paths. When we last played this mod, it was the Anime Club arc, and, let me see, falling out with the Anime Club over Shiro's school drama and whatever. Now we're in the Investigator arc, episodes 6 through 10. Oh, goodness, I had a bit of trouble getting this mod to go, dear viewer. Whenever you install it, make sure it's over a new copy of DDLC. I tried to install mine over my previous copy of Branching Paths, and that did not work out. This is the menu selection for the story arcs of DDLC Branching Paths. The episodes and other arcs will be unlocked as you play through the mod. Only episodes 1 through 10 are available in this version. Future content will be added in future updates. There are 2 arcs available to play in this version. The second arc will be unlocked once you finish playing through the first arc. Important note, the MC's name has already been predetermined, however, the name you set will still instead appear as their middle name. Alright, so I actually had to let it skip back through episode 5 of the Anime Club arc in order to unlock the Investigator arc. But here, they've got this whole new menu for the thing. This is the menu selection for episodes 1 through 5 of DDLC Branching Paths, the Anime Club arc. The episodes will be unlocked as you play through the mod. There you go, that's them. But that's kind of not what we want, so we get to go back to the main menu and start over. We already saw all that stuff. We need to see the new stuff. That's right. Goodness. Off to a great start here. Okay, the Investigator arc. Let's go. This is the menu selection for the episodes 6 through 10 of DDLC Branching Paths, the Investigator arc. The episodes will be unlocked as you play through the mod. Please select an episode to begin. Start with episode 6. We've got these fancy new episode intros. On the case. Another day has come to an end at St. Slavato High. The clubs have finished their business for the day, and the remaining students are beginning to head home. At the Science Club, the room has been silent for some time. All of its members had already left for the day. Except for me. Except for one. A girl whose bright and sparkling gaze has been laser-focused on one particular jar containing nothing other than a spider.
Oh, aren't you just gorgeous?
She says as she bends down and peers at the glass.
It's really unfortunate I can't just let you out. Well, you'd bite me in all likelihood. But I guess this is the next best thing, right?
She says as the spider lifts one of its legs back towards the girl as if it were agreeing with her. The girl lets out a giggle.
Ah, spiders. You're always so misunderstood. But I've always found you guys beautiful. The little shapes and symbols on your bodies. The beautiful, intricate webs you're able to make. And your little legs are just so cute. Ah, I was saying something else there. God, how I hate when they mess with the text. What I'd give to just be able to hug you.
The girl's passionate monologue to the spider is brought to a swift end by the sound of the door opening behind her. Monologue. Is that like the British spelling of monologue? Wait, no. They transposed the G and the U. There you go. Also, wow, it entered the history of the moment that it was in the text box. That's a little weird. She frantically turns around.
I was just kidding. I wasn't going to let him out again, honest.
The girl's nerves cool over once she sees who steps into the room.
Shiro.
Hey, Charlotte. He says with a pained smile.
Oh my gosh.
She runs over and embraces Shiro.
How have you been? It's been forever since we've seen each other. I've missed you.
I've missed you too, he says as he returns the embrace. The two release each other after a short while.
So, what brings you all the way down here? Shouldn't you be at the anime club?
Well, about that. The club's over.
What?
We disbanded.
That's awful. What happened?
Shiro walks over to one of the tables and sets his stuff down, with Charlotte joining him. The new guy we recruited flaked on us. He chose his reputation over being our friend. This just happened today.
Oh no. I'm so sorry, Shiro. I know how much you loved that club.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted. The two sit in silence for a minute.
Well, if you're looking to rejoin the Silence Club, I'm sure Norman would be happy to have you back. After all, it should be 1 or 2 words. He's something of a scientist himself, just like you.
God, memes.
We'd all love to have you back, Shiro.
She says with a warm smile. Shiro lets out a sigh. What's even worse is that I missed the last bus out of here, and the next train isn't going to come until nightfall, so I have no way home. Actually, this one can be one word, nightfall. Besides, I don't think you guys would really want me sticking around. Kayla and Ruby, they turned on me too. A shocked look comes across Charlotte's face.
Well, don't worry about getting yourself home. You can walk back with me and my daddy can drive you home. But for Kayla and Ruby, what do you mean? What exactly happened, Shiro?
Shiro looks over to Charlotte, a pained expression across his face as tears well up in his eyes. Shiro deeply sighs. Kai, that's what happened. Charlotte looks down at the floor dejectedly.
I should have known.
He still won't let what happened last year rest. He used that to make a wedge between Michael and I. And I had to come clean about the whole poem thing to the entire club, too. They both said they were hurt that I didn't tell them sooner. I haven't talked to them since then. Basically, Michael was targeted by Kai and his lackeys, and he folded under pressure. Michael was the guy we recruited. Charlotte is suddenly eyes widen. No, hold on a second. Yeah, they just need to rearrange it. Charlotte's eyes suddenly widen. It just doesn't work the way it's phrased.
Michael, why does that sound so familiar?
She thinks to herself for a moment before it dawns on her.
Oh yeah, Michael Harrington. I think I have science class with him. Actually, I think he sits right next to me.
Yeah, that's him. And don't pester him about this, please. I don't want anything to do with him anymore. He sunk the entire club because he was afraid of Kai's baseless threats.
What exactly was he threatening to do to Michael? Do you know?
It was all about his reputation. Basically, he got told, you either leave the club and never talk to me again, or we slander you. He's new and he's been through a lot in fairness, so he doesn't want to have to deal with Kai's bullshit.
Hey, language.
Sorry. Anyways, I don't blame him for that, but we took him in. We were his first real friends here, and this is how he repaid us. Shiro says as his voice breaks. Kai cost me even more friendships in the place that I loved going to. Charlotte places her hand on Shiro's shoulder.
It's going to be okay. I'm sure Kayla and Ruby will come around. They're just shocked at the news, that's all.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I haven't known those two as long as I've known you. They're great, but they don't get me the same way you do. And Michael, well, I thought we had a pretty good thing going. This just hurts. A tear finally comes down Shiro's cheek. Charlotte grabs a tissue from the other side of the desk and hands it to Shiro, who uses it to wipe it away. Thanks. But I'm beside myself. I don't know what to do anymore. I've thought about just taking it to Kai directly.
Don't. It won't end well for you.
I know. One thing that I hate to admit that Michael was right about. I haven't exactly done the best at standing up for myself. If I didn't have this thing hanging over my head, maybe the anime club would still be around and I'd still be friends with everybody.
Yeah, it's wrong for what Kai has done to you. I'm so sorry I haven't been around lately. If I was, I'm sure I could have done something to prevent all this. I feel like a lot of what's happened over the last few years can be partly attributed to me.
Don't be like that. Look, I know you've had your own problems and you needed to take time to fix them. You trying to deal with my problems on top of yours, it really wouldn't have helped things for you. I just hope you're doing better.
I am. I'm thankfully in a much better headspace now. I'm not quite all the way there, but I'm getting better every day.
She says with a smile. Well, that's good. Shiro pauses for a moment before letting out a deep sigh. It just sucks, you know. We went through so much stress trying to find a fourth member, quickly whipping up a budget and sending it to the student council, and then a day later after we initiate Michael, he leaves. All that for nothing. Shiro sinks back in his chair and sighs again.
You don't think Michael just decided yesterday that he was just done with the club and done with you guys, do you?
I know he asked around about last year's incident. I have no idea who he talked to, though. Knowing him, he probably accidentally talked to Kai's people and they told him what he wanted to hear. But Kai's been pressuring Michael to stop talking to me ever since we met on that first day.
You said this all happened after you submitted your budget request, right?
Yeah, what does that have to do with anything?
Well, I think it's no secret that the student council never exactly liked you guys having your club. And, well, if the rumors are true, Kai did help Jeremy get elected in the first place. And those two do have rather narrow worldviews.
What, you're saying the student council used Kai to disband the anime club? For what purpose?
I don't know, it's just a theory that came to mind.
I doubt that's true. I don't think they're that buddy-buddy.
Well, I think they are, and I think they worked together to disband your club. They probably saw Michael as a means to do that. I don't know for what purpose, and I doubt they solely did it just to hurt you.
I doubt it's really that deep.
Come on, Shiro. You have to see something's out of place here. Why, the early budget requests? Why the early the early date for the festival this year? Why force Michael to leave your club? Something isn't right here.
I mean, Kai's no stranger to going to the ends of the earth to try to screw me over on something.
I think we can find out exactly what happened if we find out who Michael talked to and what they told him. Maybe I can convince him.
Shiro cuts her off. Charlotte, no. Don't. It's not worth it. I don't want Michael back, not unless he apologizes for everything. And he apologizes to Kayla and Ruby for torpedoing the club.
Well, I'll see what I can do. But I'll get to the bottom of this. For you, I owe you that much.
Charlotte, you don't owe me.
I do. I couldn't really be there for you last year, and I couldn't be there for you as Kai was ruining your club. So please let me look into this to make it this right. Or at the very least, give you closure. Maybe Michael left for more than just the reasons he gave you. Most people just don't normally up and leave over random threats and to slander their reputation. There must be some kind of serious leverage over him, and if we find out what that is, we can remove it.
Shiro sighs. Well, I can't stop you from going through with this, can I?
Charlotte happily shakes her head.
You know I love a good mystery.
Shiro thinks over everything for a minute.
Fine, but please be careful and leave me out of it.
I can handle myself, Shiro. The Lord shall protect me.
Charlotte says as she softly caresses her cross necklace.
Besides, this isn't the first time I've had to do something like this.
She says with a playful wink. The two exchange a smile with each other.
Well, let's get going. I'm sure you have a long day ahead of you tomorrow.
Charlotte and Shiro pick up their things and head out of the room.
You did what? Why would you do that, Michael?
I let out a deep sigh. As I already told you, sticking with the anime club was more trouble than it was worth. I'm not going to put up with being harassed or risk involving other people who have nothing to do with this for the rest of high school. I'm not doing that to myself. It's also not right that other people get pulled in on my account either.
Look, if that's your reasoning, fine. Stay with the club or don't. That's your decision at the end of the day. I just don't understand why you thought the student council president was the best person to report this to. Hold on a second. Report this to, oh. He's just another student like you. Why didn't you go to the principal?
I was told by that girl, Sayori, that he apparently gave great advice. Plus, the student council has the authority to give out some punishments, at least enough to get Kai off my back. So
you trusted a girl you had literally just met?
It was a shot in the dark, but she gave me an outside perspective, which is what I wanted in that moment of time. Though looking back on it, she probably just told me stuff I already wanted to hear and let Jeremy seal the deal. I'm sure those two are in league with Kai somehow.
See, you didn't think that through until it was too late. You should have reported this to the principal. He exists for a reason.
We've already been over this. He's already been reported multiple times and nothing's ever happened to him.
Did that actually happen, or is that just more gossip?
I don't know. That's just what I heard.
Michael, you cannot base your decisions around gossip among your classmates. You have to learn to make your own decisions by going off what's in your heart and in your head.
I did just that, Mom. I would have gone to the principal if I thought that was the right thing to do. You just don't like my decision.
Of course I don't. That's exactly what are the kind of thinking and decisions your father made.
I clench my fists on the seams of my pants as I try to avoid raising my voice too loudly at Mom. Don't push that on me.
It's true. Your father never thought things through until after the fact and always made decisions on a whim. It led him to make reckless decisions and poor choices, and look where he is now.
If Dad was in my shoes, he would have left Shiro from minute one. I at least tried to stick it out with him. I saw where it was heading.
Did you really? Or were you only saying what other people wanted you to see?
Forget this. I slap my lap and grab my backpack, much to Mom's surprise. Though she quickly collects herself.
Just where do you think you're going, young man? We're not done with this.
I'm going to the shithole school you're making me go to.
Michael, stop right now.
Mom yells at me again a few times, but I ignore her. I walk out the door and slam it right behind me. Oh, teenagers. I think that was the first time in my life that I had ever walked out on my parents giving me an ass screaming. Well, singular parent. It feels empowering, though I'm sure I'm just going to get more of it when I get home. That is, if she's in the mood to. Too well. Who knows? With her new job, she's either pumped up or bone tired when I get home. Whatever. I probably should take the train, but I think some fresh air would do me some good. Actually, how am I on time? I look down at my watch. So long as I keep up a decent pace, I should make it to school just in time. Not that I particularly want to be there, of course. I sigh as I begin my walk towards school. As I'm walking, my mind forcibly replays the whole argument I just had with Mom. Well, I wasn't expecting it to go too well anyways. Anyways, it does not need this. I figured she'd be mad that I decided not to go to the principal. In hindsight, I probably should have. Going to Jeremy was probably the wrong play, but if he can follow through on his promise to keep Kai away from me, follow through, Sam and anyone else I can come into contact with, then maybe this was worth it. So long as it means I never have to see either of them again. Plus, with the benefit of not being associated with Shiro or the anime club now, I technically have a new chance at a fresh start. Maybe I'll get to meet some new people now, though I can't say I've really connected with anyone outside the anime club. But it is only the second week of school. I just hope I don't have to deal with everything all over again. Honestly, I think I might just stick to myself for the next few weeks. Maybe people will come to me if I'm lucky enough. Hopefully not negatively. Hey, said someone. What the hell? I turn around and see some girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. As she gets closer, I begin to recognize the girl. Is that... Before I could finish my thought, the girl catches up to me, panting heavily.
Hey! Whoa, running is really hard.
Sayori briefly stops panting as a loud rumble emits from her stomach.
Oh, we shouldn't have ran so fast after just eating breakfast,
she says as she clutches her gut. I take a step back to avoid a potential accident happening on my shoes. After a few moments, Sayori catches her breath and wipes the sweat from her brow.
Remind me not to do that again.
Sayori?
Yup, the one and only. Michael, right?
Yeah?
Yay, I remembered.
I wonder if she remembers setting me up to fail.
I didn't realize you lived around here.
Yeah, me neither.
Wow, that's pretty cool. You're the first person I know from our school that actually lives within walking distance of me.
Lucky me.
Yeah, I live by that tin house right there.
Sayori says as she joyfully points down the street. Huh, that kind of looks like my... Was it, say neighbor? Neighbors. Wait a second. I think Sayori might be my neighbor. Oh, great. I unintentionally let out a sigh to which Sayori clearly picks up on.
You okay? You seem stressed.
Yeah, a little bit, I say sarcastically.
Did something happen?
It wasn't just something, it was a lot, I say, raising my voice. Sayori shrinks herself at the sound of my yelling. She then delicately takes a step forward.
Michael, would you be willing to tell me what's wrong?
I finally snap. Well, last time I did, you sent me to your buddy Jeremy, who told me to do the exact same thing Kai was wanting me to do. You set me up.
Whoa, what do you mean?
Don't act dumb. You know exactly what you did, you two-faced bitch. Sayori stands straight back up, trying her best to stomach my insult. Just leave me alone. I don't even want to see you right now, I say as I begin walking away from her.